PDFs and documents are another type of file that many people like to add to their web pages, but they find them difficult to add because they don't have a value, like there's no PDF tag or a doc tag. And instead, what you do is you just link to them, just like you would any other text file or another web page. So you write your ahref, and then you write the name of your PDF file. In this case, I'm saying HTML cheat sheet.pdf, HTML5 cheat sheet. Now, one of the things that I'm doing here is I'm creating a link to this document. So the HTML5 cheat sheet, it's not actually going to display on the page, it's going to be a link to it. So when I preview it, as you can see, here's a link to the HTML5 cheat sheet. It's not the PDF file itself, it's a link to it so people can either click on it and open it in their browser, or they can download it themselves. One of the things people make mistakes on, though, is when they're working with their HTML, they can't find their PDF file that they're downloading or that they want to download. And that's because sometimes they forget to upload it to their website. This is another file on your website. So as you can see, I have my HTML file, I have my CSS file, I have my pictures, images, and they're all in the same directory. And then right here is my PDF file. But if I don't upload that file to my hosting provider, when somebody clicks on the link, so if we go back to the preview, if somebody clicks on this link and it's on the hosting provider, but the PDF file isn't there, they'll get a file not found and they'll be frustrated. So you want to always make sure that you upload the PDF or document file along with your HTML and CSS. Another way you can do it, as you can see right here, we have a text link, but another thing you can do is you can actually create an image link for that PDF to make it more enticing for people to want to link to it. So the first thing I like to do is get an image that tells people this is a PDF. And one thing you see is that there are PDF images available for free from Pixabay. You have download now, download free, and then actually images that say PDF to tell people this is a PDF file. And you can grab one of these images from Pixabay just by clicking on it and choosing the size you want and downloading it to your hard drive. Then you would add it to your HTML the same way you add any other image. Since we're linking the PDF, you would add it to the HTML where it says HTML cheat sheet. So instead of saying HTML cheat sheet, you'd say image source, and then the URL of your download link icon and so on. I'm going to leave it as HTML cheat sheet. Because there's another trick to this that you'll notice. When you look in my Finder, you can see that the file name actually has spaces in it. But when we go back to the text editor, it loaded them in HTML5 %20 cheat %20 sheet. You might be tempted to come in and get rid of those %20s. What are those? It messed it up. It's supposed to be a space. But the reality is that the %20 is a code that tells the browser there should be a space there. The problem is that if you put those %20s in and somebody else decodes your URL, they might add a code for the % or something else because they see this URL and they don't see it as a space, and so it ends up breaking. So you're better off, rather than actually having these %20s, you're better off going to your file name and actually changing the file name so that there's no spaces in that file name. Then, when you link to it, you also need to get rid of the %20s so that there's no spaces in the file name that you're linking to. And that way you don't risk people trying to click on it and getting a file that is not found because the URL got confused or the spaces messed something up. You can do this with doc files, you can do this with zip files, you can do this with just about any file type that is not an image. You can just link to it and have it download from your website with just the same exact steps. Instead of putting HTML5 cheat sheet.pdf here, you might change it to .zip if it's a zip file, or .doc if it's a doc file. Doesn't matter. All those things will still be downloadable by your customers. They have access to the file once you've linked to it. So that's how you link to PDFs and doc files.